Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be talking about my Harry Potter reading plans. I've read Harry Potter before, numerous times, but with all the different editions coming out and also a stack of books that I still have on my TBR to read, I thought it might be fun to just tell you guys quickly what I intend to be doing with rereading Harry Potter using all the different editions. I've recently reread Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in the Minalima edition, and I also own the second one. I'm currently reading that one very slowly, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I say slowly because it's currently on my son's playmat and I'm using it as a bit of a filler to entertain us in his awake time. He doesn't necessarily think it's super entertaining at the moment because he's only just coming up to 6 months now, but it's something that we can sit there and instead of me having to babble on about something in my head, I can just read the book. So I get a bit of enjoyment out of it and hopefully he starts to learn that books equals cuddles and fun time. I am thinking with that one, I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of different books. I've sort of gone through a bit of a reading slump at the moment and I'm imagining that once I am feeling ready, but potentially once I've sort of caught up to date and finished a lot of the books, I think I'm halfway through like 6 books at the moment. It's really ridiculous. That in itself could be its own video. But once I have caught up with all of those books or I'm just in the mood for something fun, I'm going to pick up the second one and just read it all to myself, and I might just read some of Miles' books to himself then. From there, I think the Minalima edition of the third book, The Prisoner of Azkaban, is coming out next year, I'm pretty sure. I'm in two minds about this because on the one hand I have these beautiful copies that I've never read before that that Daniel gifted to me for Christmas one year, and we decided to make it a bit of a fun challenge to get my TBR down or get my TBR to 0. I wasn't allowed to open them or read them, and so they are untouched. I want to read them, and what I'm thinking of doing when I eventually do read them all is actually annotating them. So I've recently started annotating. I'll leave a link to that video down below to learn more about my process, but I thought a fun way to make these ones special, because I have an original copy of Harry Potter's that are very well loved. They're a bit beat up because they're a copy that me and my sisters and my mum read. But now that I have these beautiful new ones, I just sort of thought, how can I make these special as well, considering that I also have all these other illustrated editions, and that's when I got the idea of annotating them. So I'm in a bit of two minds about it, considering that the Minalima edition of The Prisoner of Azkaban is a fair way away. I'm thinking that unless I get a big Harry Potter surge in me, that I should be fine to wait another year to reread that particular book, which it'll be interesting actually as to what Miles wants me to read and things like that, but he probably won't be. I can read chapter books at the moment because he's not coherent enough to understand the story, but it helps him with his language to listen to me read it out loud. But once he gets older, when he's in that kind of 1 to 2 to 3 year old age range, he's not really going to be more from that, but he's not going to be ready for chapter books, I don't think. So I won't necessarily need to read Harry Potter to him for a while, or there won't be an opportunity for that for a while. So I could very well wait to read the third book in the Minalima edition, which I think I will, because once it comes out, I think I'm probably going to want to scoop it up. So that's what I'm currently thinking for that one. This is like obviously going to be a very long form video, but then in the other side of my brain, as to not to wait and to just read the third book and annotate it in this copy, and then read the fourth book in this copy and annotate it. That's not going to change at all because it's going to be too long before the Minalima edition comes out. The Goblet of Fire in the illustrated is already out. But my other thought for trying to push forward and not wait for The Prisoner of Azkaban in Minalima is that the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is already out. I have it on my Christmas list, and I guess this is another deciding factor as well, is that if I don't get it for Christmas or for my birthday in February, then I could wait for a bit and see, because I have no shortage of books to read. It's absolutely fine, and it'll probably be cheaper if I wait a couple of years to read it. And then that all depends on how long it will take to get other things out, but considering that the books only get bigger as they go along, and that Jim Kay actually had someone helping him as well on this 5th one, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's going to be a while before the next ones come out. And then, as we can see, the Minalima ones, they're only just getting to the 3rd one in probably 2023 is when it'll be out sometime next year. So I'm in two minds about it, and I think it will depend on whether I get Harry Potter for Christmas, or if I have a big Harry Potter surge and I decide to go ahead and read the 3rd one in this paperback and annotate it. But the 4th one definitely is going to be annotated, which I'm pretty excited about, because it at the moment is, I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up actually at the moment between Goblet of Fire, because I love, for me, a trope that I really love is trials and challenges, so the Goblet of Fire is perfect because it has all that stuff in it. But I also love the 6th book because I love all the backstory with getting to know Voldemort and his family and things like that. So I'm a toss up between those two, but I definitely know that the 4th one I'm going to annotate, and I'm pretty excited about annotating them. So that could also factor in as well. But then the Order of the Phoenix is going to be, I'm going to read it in the gorgeous Jim Kay editions, the big illustrated ones. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully there's a few more illustrations than in the past, because I have felt a little bit funny about the fact that there weren't as many illustrations as I wanted it to be. There was a lot of geometrical coloured pages, but there wasn't a lot of actual illustrations, which I do get, and honestly the price is still really great for a book of this caliber. I think it's about $45 Australian at the moment, which is fantastic. But honestly, considering that these books come out very rarely, I'd be happy to pay $100 and to get a super illustrated version. But anyways, that's just me in my privileged money saying that. But the last 2 books then, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows, are definitely going to be read in these ones that Daniel bought me. It will leave 1 and 2 and 5 and potentially 3 unannotated, so that'll be really interesting. And I wonder whether, do I read them backwards? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it was fun to think about, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little random video that I just kind of thought of on the fly, probably more for Harry Potter lovers than anybody else, but also I guess if you wanted to know about the different editions of Harry Potter that are out there. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!